Welcome to my cutaway Spitfire project. My goal here is to document the build of a 1/24th scale Spitfire with one side cutaway in the style of those cutaway drawings as all we've seen, and the other side made as normal. A while ago, one of my kids gifted a jigsaw of the cutaway drawing of the Haynes Allmark Spitfire, which is on sale for 20 quid, but they picked it up in a charity shop for 3. And here it is. There you go. Anatomy of a Spitfire, according to them, all marks, which is interesting, but nevertheless, that is what it is. I loved it, but not enough to actually open the box, and it's sat for a long while in my cupboard while I've spent nearly 3 years building the newly tooled 1/25th Spitfire model from AIrfix, which was and is a labour of love. It's a wonderful model. It's a big step up on the earlier tooled one, which I also have. Love it. Spent a long time prepping, did some learning about weathering. By no means is it a great model. I mean, my version of it is not great, but it's a lot of fun, and it's almost in shot at times. I had to decide what to do next. I kid you not, I currently have 14 Spitfires built and another 17 in boxes. Yep, I know, 17. The front runner for the next build was, you guessed it, a Spitfire. Probably a 1/48th version of prototype K5054. To do that, I acquired 2 Revell 1/48 Spitfire Mark IIs, as I thought this was a reasonable place to start with. Done loads of research, contacted people about what to do next. I've even made a teeny weeny first stab at the prototype model. Again, fun, not wonderful. Made my own canopy. Boy, does that painting show. The aluminium finish isn't great. Those handmade exhaust outlets are a bit rubbish. Made my own decals though, which we'll get to talk about later. But that's not what I decided on. So what did I decide to do? Well, what changed my mind was the fantastic detail of the new AIrfix tooling. For me, this was a massive step up towards being a proper model rather than a lookalike. I mean, the things inside the wings are correct. I mean, it's got stuff inside that is accurate and essential to the functioning of the plane. Gets hidden by the later build though. I could have lived with that disappointment of not being able to display all that structure if I hadn't noticed an advert for a heavily discounted Mark VIII using much of the same tooling. And here it is. Supermarine Spitfire Mark VIII. I bought it while it was on offer and started thinking about what I could do to reveal the inner detail. So here is the plan. Take this kit, build one half to look like a finished plane, and the other half to be cutaway. My thoughts are, and I only outline my plans so we can all laugh later at how they end up not reflecting reality, that it'll take about 30 videos over 3 years. Cool. Nobody's ever done this before, except they have. Plenty of other modelers have done cutaway. I take my hat off to them, and I'll be honest here. My modelling skills have improved since I started in my teens, but I'm not a top-ranked modeller. Neither am I an expert in Spitfires. My only qualification for doing this is my obsession with this wonderful aircraft. will be welcome to correct me and educate me as we go along. I will try not to get precious about that. Neither am I experienced at making videos, as is probably apparent already, so expect some awkward and clunky moments. After all, I am a man of mature years struggling with modern tech. Given that part of my motivation in doing this is to show what's on the inside, it's only a small leap to me wanting to explain what we are building, why the different parts matter, the history of the aircraft, and even the context that surrounds the plane. As a big fan of Terry Pratchett, I do love a long diversionary footnote only remotely connected to the main story. So, as I would figure there will be long periods of video with only a pair of hands doing something very slowly, and plan to leave the hands on screen and overlay plenty of additional material. A few things about me and what that means about the atmosphere here. In general terms, I am liberal and tolerant, but tolerance does not stretch to tolerating haters of any kind. Moderation of negativity will be savage and uncompromising. Also, I think I'm funnier than I am, and I will be injecting humour at times. Sometimes it will amuse some of the people. Sometimes it will amuse only me and offend a lot of the people. I issue a pre-apology here, and I will improve as we go along, but I'm not planning to apologise again. If only I'd read all these books. This is the first video, and we're not even going to open the box today. But I am going to go through what I'm going to use, how I intend to do stuff, and a few pictures of things. Right, you start with the kit. Here's the kit. Make some space. I'm just going to move slightly over a shot. 124 Supermarine Spitfire Mark VIII. The reason I'm buying it is actually I don't have a Mark VIII, so this fills in my I want one of every Mark goal, which is why I have so many Spitfires in boxes. But actually, I want this because I know that the tooling is really good, and that by revealing the insides via cutaway, there will be stuff to reveal. Not everything we need, but a lot more than if I had one with those old-fashioned solid wings that just cover everything up and no inner detail. So that's the kit we're working with. Cutaways are cutaways, but I've put some together here, and to a degree I've started to sketch out the parts that I want to remove on this side to reveal the insides. Different one, these are all stolen from various online resources that I'm not supposed to steal, but I probably have. And some basic notes in my terrible handwriting. Very much first idea, just to prove to myself this can be done. I do have super duper plans for doing extra stuff, which I'm not going to talk about until we get closer, because I might have to change my mind. Okay, just so you can see me again. What am I going to use? General tools. Yeah, any basic kit will do. Various sanding tools. A nice cutter. What have I purchased extra along the way? I do quite like these. I think they're for doing nails, actually. Little diamond sanders. But Amazon is your friend. You can find virtually everything you need if you use your imagination. You don't have to spend a lot of money. That is a tiny little drill, and all the drill bits are in there. Again, I've got more stuff which I've got with this particular model in mind in terms of silver and copper thread when I'm doing the insides. But we'll come to that later. The most important tool for me, do yourself a favor. This is an old one I've repaired. You really need fine control over your glue. Do not think about using big, thick, wide-nosed nozzle glues. The most important tool of all for me, I can't see a bloody thing these days, so I need these. Part of the reason I'm doing this model now is I'm not sure my eyes and fingers will last long enough to do it if I don't crack on. I've already showed you my books, and the last thing to talk about is how am I recording this. Not that it's great, but okay. Up there is an old cell phone. The cell phone is running software called Camo Camera, free. The PC is running Camo Studio, which is free. I have one screen there and one screen there, so I can see what I'm doing and I can see what I'm supposed to be saying. I'm using a headset for hearing myself and for recording the sound, and I've lost my mouse. It's there. Okay, I think we're done for the first video. I don't aim to get rich or famous from this, which is good, but it would be great to know that someone out there is interested and listening, so please do comment or follow. If others wish to contribute, then get in contact, as I'd love that, and it really will help me. Okay. Sector Control, this is Spitfire Dad, RTB, out. Okay, this bit I do after I've watched back what I've already done. So, what did I learn today? First of all, that was not great, but I'm not going to redo it. It's not a beauty contest, and the few people who might be interested will be happy enough seeing the main project. The bare bones of how it's shown, probably not that important. Having said that, I do need to zoom out, like this. This is a better kind of size. The zoom out technique I used is raising the camera higher. I need better framing. When I show something, it needs to be in picture. For the one I've just done, I will actually overlay a few things which were only partially in shot. My voice sounds tinny. Not a lot I can do. I need to do something about that wart on my chin, which I will have a look at. And I probably need some kind of drum music and a banner. It will make the whole thing seem more professional, and it will also add 20-30 seconds to the runtime. I guess that's it. If you're still here, you really need to get a life and a drink. But thanks anyway. Cheers for now.